Welcome to the Nomadic Spaces Podcast, where we talk all things interior design, tiny houses, and happy homes. Each week, we explore different interior design strategies, the unique challenges of small spaces, and delve into the incredible lifestyle of tiny homes. Whether you're a fellow tiny house dweller or simply have an interest in interior design, this show has something for you. Hello everybody, and welcome to my very first video episode of the Nomadic Spaces Podcast. Many of you, especially over on YouTube, have requested to have a visual go along with the audio. So to start, just gonna be me. But in time, hopefully I can figure out how to navigate adding cool images and examples of what we're talking about. So stay tuned. I am definitely trying to up my video game, but I am still an amateur, full disclosure, so just bear with me. So I'm really excited about today's episode. It's going to be a little different than normal because we're actually going to be talking about one of my most popular interior design services, which is my Turnkey full-service short-term rental design and setup package. So to start, let's chat a little bit about why you would want to hire an interior designer for an Airbnb or short-term rental. In recent years, the popularity of sites like Airbnb and other vacation rental platforms has really soared, and it's revolutionized the way that people are traveling and experiencing their destinations. This trend reflects a shift towards personalized and immersive stays, where we see travelers are really seeking accommodations that offer a sense of home away from home. However, catering to the unique needs and preferences of transient guests can present some distinct challenges for design. Unlike designing for a permanent residence, vacation rentals demand a delicate balance of durability, functionality, and aesthetic appeal to really ensure guest satisfaction and get those positive reviews. The balance of the comforts of home with the luxury experience of a hotel is what folks are really after these days. An effective interior design plays a pivotal role in shaping the overall guest experience, influencing everything from comfort and convenience to ambiance and even memorable moments. As such, mastering the art of designing for vacation rentals is really essential for property owners and hosts who are looking to succeed in this really competitive hospitality market. It used to be that you could make great revenue without investing much thought or money into the interior design of a short-term rental property. But with the oversaturated short-term rental market, those days are long gone. To beat out competition, it's really imperative that your property stands out in photos and delivers on an incredible experience for your guests from start all the way to the finish. As the former lead interior designer at Vacasa, which is a nationwide vacation rental property management company and platform, I was able to gain years of data-driven design experience for different types of rental properties all over the country. I'm really proud and excited to bring all of that knowledge into my current turnkey vacation rental design services, which we'll be talking more about today. My turnkey Airbnb vacation rental design service includes a full setup, including kitchen stock, bedding, household stock, etc. Typically, the project is executed virtually until everything has arrived and is ready to be installed, which is when I will come on site to oversee the installation and set everything up. Items are typically delivered to a receiver unless you happen to live near your rental and want to receive deliveries, but typically it's through a receiver who stores all of the orders and then shows up on a scheduled date coordinated with me when I'm there to assemble and hang and set up everything in the space. I try to do local sourcing for small decor and final staging, and I typically coordinate photography and remain on site until photography is complete. So the goal with this service is that when I leave, we have stunning photos for your new listing and the property is renter ready for guests to come and enjoy. So next, I'm just going to run through the 5-step design process. And this is the same for all of my full service interior design projects. It's just usually a little bit faster when we're doing Airbnb, because usually these owners want to go live and start making some money. After we go through the process, I'll run through some frequently asked questions and answers to hopefully clarify anything you may have. But you can always send me an email, which will be linked in the show notes, if you have questions or want to inquire about anything. I always love to chat. So the 5-step process can start with a connection call, which is just a complimentary 10 to 20 minute call just to get to know each other, learn a little bit about your project, and we can determine if and which service might be a good fit for you. Next is the project plan, and this is the official first step, also known as the Design Project Jumpstart. This is a 90-minute virtual tour. Unless you're close by, sometimes we do them on site, but typically it's done virtually through video call. The Design Project Jumpstart is the valuable first step of putting together the project fundamentals along with our design goals and inspiration. We'll also discuss the approach as it relates to target market, which is a really important part of designing for revenue with short-term rentals. So for example, if we know we're going to be targeting a higher end renter and want to charge a more premium rate, it's important that the design looks and feels luxury down to things like bedding and towels. We'll figure out any necessary logistics, like do we need to schedule contractors first or hire a receiver or an installer? And this is where we're really going to hone in on the overall design direction and talk through the entire scope of the project from start to finish, including the timeline and budget, as well as clarifying our desired outcomes. So step number 1 is a big mountain to cover, and a lot of folks can start with step 1, and if you're a DIY type, it might be enough that you can take it from there. Step 2, if you continue with me, is conceptual design, and this is where we really fine-tune and establish our design direction. We'll put together inspo images for each space, including ideas for furniture, decor, colors, materials, fixtures, and finishes. Basically, whatever we need to order or specify for your project. Step number 3 is the design plan, and this is where we get more technical. The design plan typically includes things like floor plans, noting furniture layouts, 3D renders, as well as room boards and product lists. We review the design plan together, and you'll give me any notes or feedback. There are no limits on revisions, so we will continue going through this process until you are 100% happy with the products and the design. Once you approve the design plan, I'll send you an order list through a purchasing platform, which allows you to place the entire order with one click and one payment. It is such a beautiful thing and makes ordering super easy. All the individual orders from various vendors will be placed automatically with that one click. So for example, if we've sourced things from, say, Amazon, West Elm, Etsy, Pottery Barn, etc., that order will place all the individual ones as well. And then I will be managing the tracking spreadsheet, which keeps track of all the deliveries with the receiver. And if anything's delayed or we need to pick new things, I'll let you know. And we can decide if we want to wait or reselect, depending on what's best for you and your project timeline. Typically, we just reselect to replace any items that won't arrive. That way we're not pushing the project back. But if something, is really special or we can't find a similar product, we might choose to wait. Step 4 is project management. And once the design plan is approved, like I said, I'll send over the entire order. You'll have placed it, and we'll be able to organize all of the individual orders under one spreadsheet with specific vendors. I manage all of this, so it's something you don't have to worry about in full service design. Once you place the order, I deal with everything with our receivers. Most of my clients, like I said, don't live near their rental property, or maybe they aren't able or just don't want to be involved in receiving the plethora of deliveries that is associated with these projects typically. So often I do coordinate with a local receiver to collect the items, store them, and again, we'll schedule a consolidated white glove delivery installation when I'm on site. Like I said, I work with the vendors and the receiver on confirming deliveries and if there are any damaged or missing items. Once we see things shipping out and kind of the later ETAs, we'll go ahead and pin down an estimated date for installation, and I will usually go ahead and book my travel. Step number 5 is so exciting. It's the actual installation of the project. Like I said, I'm on site for the installation to manage all of the setup, and depending on the size of the property and the project, this is typically between 3 and 5. I like to leave time to source small decorative objects from local thrift and vintage stores if possible. It just brings in so much character to the space than kind of ordering everything new, and it often saves some dollars. When I leave, everything will have been set up, the house will be renter ready, and it will have been professionally photographed. So now I want to go through some frequently asked questions I get from clients via email or even on our intro calls. So first, how long does a turnkey vacation rental interior design project take? Knowing that most people are ready to get their property furnished and up and running ASAP, typically turnkey design projects take 6 to 8 weeks from start to finish to complete. Some of that will depend on ordering and how fast we can get through the design process and it approves. Can you do it any faster? Yes, I can and do offer turnkey design services that rely on mostly local sourcing. This will vary from location, and you kind of relinquish some of the approval because I'll be finding things locally. We'll agree on a budget and an overall design plan, but you won't have approval over specific products because these will just be purchased on the go locally. It's a little bit different, but we can do it faster. And those will typically take anywhere, it depends how fast I can get to wherever your location is, but those typically take about a week once I'm on site. How much does it cost? Turnkey interior design services start at $10,000. I work on a flat fee business model, which means any trade pricing I receive, I pass straight to you. So there are no markups, no timesheets, and any travel expenses are included in the flat rate design fee. There will not be any additional hours. You don't have to worry about the project cost spiraling in terms of design fee. It is flat rated. How much will it cost to set up my design rental? It depends on the size and the space, but for a super rough low-end estimate of product cost, I like to say factor in about $5,000 per room and be sure to include any outdoor spaces. So example, with a 2-bed, 2-bath house with a finished basement, we'd be looking at 7 rooms by $5,000, so we'd be looking at a minimum of $35,000 total product cost. Next question, do you place the orders? Like I said, when we are ready to place orders, I will send you the entire order list organized by room in one place with one easy way to place one payment. It's beautiful, it's easy. My clients have really loved it since I've started working this way. So all the individual orders from various vendors and websites will be placed automatically. We do not have to do that. I work with their project manager on all deliveries and coordination and installation. So once you place that order, it is hands off. I will keep you in the loop in terms of installation dates, any changes. If there are contractors for painting or anything like that on site, I can help find them and manage them, but you will pay and hire them directly. I typically pay for the photography. Typically, I just include it in my flat rate fee, and then I will source local photography if I don't already have a photographer in your area and manage all of that. Next question, where do you work? Well, I take projects all over the country. Steps 1 through 4, like I said, typically we do virtually, and then I'm on site for step 5 to manage the installation. What about returns or issues with any products? I will handle any replacements or returns that need to happen during installation. For example, if something arrives damaged or something doesn't fit the way it was supposed to, we need to replace it. If there are any issues post-installation, or if you're hiring someone as a property manager and they need to get in touch, they can reach out directly to our vendor at in-house who manages the order with me to handle the return process. You are, of course, welcome to loop me in on any post installation returns or anything like that. I just won't be the main point of contact facilitating the return at that point. Return policies and defective policies vary by vendor, but I do try to source as much as possible from vendors I already know and trust, especially for larger and more expensive items like sofas. I hope that this has given you a good breakdown of what working with me to furnish an Airbnb turnkey looks like, as well as some inspiration for how you might manage your own Airbnb design projects. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me via email. Thank you so much for being here and listening and watching. I'm really excited to be integrating video, and thank you for your patience as I figure out this new medium. Until next week, home happy. I hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring. My goal with this show is to help others make changes that transform their space. But just absorbing content, even brilliant content like this, doesn't get results. Taking action does. If you are still listening, you might be ready to fully accomplish your design goals. My challenge to you is commit to taking one action right now before you don't. Taking action might look like booking a design project jumpstart, or maybe it's signing up for the free desk refresh guide, or maybe it's signing up for my mailing list, or maybe it's scheduling a complimentary connection call to virtually meet and discuss your design goals in more detail. You can find more about all those fun things I just mentioned, as well as reach out to me directly through my website, which is sukkainteriordesign.com. That is SUKKHAINTERIORDESIGN.com. I love connecting, so please don't be a stranger. As always, thank you for tuning in and for being a part of this community. If you liked what you heard on this episode or show, please take a second to like, review, subscribe, and share this podcast with your friends and family. It is truly the easiest way to show support for me and this tiny niche podcast. Until next time, take care and home happy.